Well, hello. We're time in the car yet again to do another weekly meeting update. And this week's was about have a good night. Yep, have a good night. I have to check. You know, I look at it just before I do it, and then I don't remember it. But we didn't talk about this. No, no, no. We didn't talk about it. I kind of think it's because it's the end of the week. I have a feeling. I know that this is what they probably talked about at all the meetings all week. But tomorrow starts a new meeting week, and I have a feeling that tomorrow's book is going to be about emotional eating because that's what we talked about today. So, on to the bad news. I did gain 1.1, so I'm back up to 254.5. I don't know if you can see that without it being all blurry. Not that I'm proud of it, but so I'm back under the 50 pounds, 49.7. So I have to get back on track, and I have every intention of doing that. I did go out to eat last night. I said on my daily vlog, Jim and I used to eat out a lot. We used to probably eat out 5 or 6 days a week. And now we just eat out occasionally. Although last week I ate out 5 times, but that was only because we had family in and there was events and concerts and stuff that we had to go to. But Jim and I go out a lot. So now we don't, that I'm on this Weight Watchers program. Jim is not on Weight Watchers program. And he doesn't bring anything home to tempt me or anything like that. But every once in a while he wants to go out to eat. And I always choose healthy. But the particular restaurant we went to last night didn't really have healthy choices. And I didn't make a healthy choice. And I know I'm loaded with sodium. And so I shouldn't have lost 3.5 pounds last week because I ate out 5 times. So I'm good with it. I don't have a problem with it. But my goal for November is to lose 5 pounds. So that's a little over a pound a week, and I'll do it. But like I said, the weekly was about have a good night's sleep. I'll go over it real quick, but because we didn't do it at all in the meeting. And it's just, you know, pretty much, they always tell you, you need between 7 and 9 hours of sleep every night to make sure that you get enough sleep. If you have enough sleep, then you tend to stay on your program better, your body works better, everything about it. You want to create a bedtime schedule, and you want to, you know, do different things. You want to turn your electronics off about an hour before you go to bed. You want to take a warm shower. You want to lay out your clothes for the next day. Pack your lunch the night before. Then you'll make a healthier choice if you pack it the night before. Brush your teeth. I don't know how anybody can go to bed without brushing their teeth. I brush my teeth and floss every night. But anyway, that's just me. Read a chapter in a book. Practice a breathing exercise. And then you want to have a certain time that you go to bed every night and that you get up at the same time every day. So your body kind of knows. I'm kind of a night owl. I usually don't go to bed before 1 or 2 in the morning. And I get up about 9 or 10 in the morning. So I'm still getting my 7 hours sleep. It just seems bad when you're rolling out of bed at 10 o'clock when most of the world has already gotten out of bed at 6. But as long as I get enough sleep, I guess that's all that matters. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to catch a bus. I don't have to catch a bus. So the unhelpful thought is I have so much work at night after the kids are asleep. There's no way I can go to bed earlier. And then the helpful thought is I do have a lot to do, but I can accomplish some of it and still go to bed a little bit earlier. I'll get more rest and I'll be more productive the next day. An unhelpful thought is the only time I have to catch up with friends and check social media is just before bed. That's my ritual. And the helpful thought is I can check in with friends and then start a relaxing screen-free bedtime ritual. I'll set a realistic bedtime and work backwards from there to fit in. I think the Fit and Fabulous Mama, if you go over to her site, I think she made this squash soup, this butternut squash soup. I do like butternut, and I do like butternut squash, and I do like soup, so I might like that. But anyway, we talked about, excuse me, emotions, and our quote was, never let your emotions overpower your intelligence. And that's just so true. You know what you need to do. You know what to do to lose weight. You can't let your emotions play into it. So you want to escape emotional eating, and that's basically what we talked about today. And you have to know the difference between physical hunger and emotional hunger. And everybody knows the difference, but you need to be reminded of what it is. A physical hunger is a need for food that happens usually 3 to 5 hours after you've eaten a meal. An emotional hunger is a desire for food that's brought on by emotions such as stress, boredom, anxiety, sadness, even happiness. Because you could be like really happy at a party and that, and you just mindlessly eat. You just, like as you're talking with friends and you're having a really good time, and they always have like, what is funny is like when you go to a party, pay attention to this. If you go to a party and there's all kinds of chips and cookies and cakes and stuff like that, but they have like a fruit tray or a vegetable tray, those are always going to be empty. People don't like to admit that they want, like you can say, well, I'll bring a vegetable tray to the party, and they'll go, oh, look at that, she's bringing a vegetable tray. Oh, whoop-de-ding. It'll be gone because people are going to eat off of that vegetable tray, mostly because most people don't want to take the time to cut up the vegetables and make them look pretty. Like you get those little, anybody that brings a vegetable platter, they're going to put a little bit of work into it and make it look pretty and attractive. You're not going to do that so much at home, but if you go to a party, you are, and your sight is how a lot of times you'll see something and you'll say, oh, I want that, and it's the same with fruit. They make like edible arrangements, has those beautiful, which is what my family now sends instead of flowers, because you always have people that you have to feed afterwards, and it's just nice. It's just, you have to be the first one to take something off of it because it's always so pretty and nobody wants to touch it and ruin the aesthetic of it. But I'll be the one that'll do it because you just got to have somebody to start it off. But everybody's going to do that, and so you have to know the physical eating is it's a gradual physical need, and you have to really think, am I really hungry? You have to be aware. You have to be patient. Like if you eat breakfast at 8 o'clock, don't think you're going to eat lunch at 9:30. It's just, you have to be patient and know, let my body settle in with what I have in my stomach right now. If you've eaten enough at each meal, it'll get you to the next meal. And you want to base it on if your stomach is rolling around and you really think you're hungry, have a glass of water, see if that's going to hold you over, because a lot of times just a glass of water is going to hold you over. But an emotional need for food it's sudden. It's just all of a sudden you think, I got to have food. I got to have some food right now. And you got to have a specific food, like, oh, I got to have something sweet, or I got to have something salty. I find with myself, if I eat something salty, I have to follow it with something sweet. I know that this is one of the triggers for me. I just know it. And you have to know that emotional eating is always above the neck. It's not from your body down below, it's above. Your stomach is going to tell you when you're hungry. Your mind is not going to tell you when you're hungry. Your mind is going to fool you into thinking you're hungry, but you're really not. You just have to know the difference. And you have to remember that your emotions are always going to promote you to try to make bad decisions. So you have to not be triggered by guilt. Don't be triggered by someone, like everybody has that one friend that said, oh, this one little piece of cake is not going to hurt you. Well, you know what? That one little piece of cake is not going to hurt you. I agree. It is not going to hurt you. But a lot of times that one little piece of cake is going to make you think, well, I've already gone off my diet. I've already blown it for the day. I might as well just start again tomorrow. No, you've had the piece of cake. Don't feel guilty. Move on. Just make better choices for the rest of the day. You might have to substitute something different that like maybe you were going to have like a 5-point cheeseburger and say, well, instead I think I'll have like a tuna fish sandwich. And then you'll cut off 4 points right there. It's just balance it out is what I'm trying to say. And a lot of times just the sight of food, you can be at a party and that, and you'll be like I said, scoping out the table and stuff, and you'll say, oh, those are Bertie's famous snickerdoodles, because Bertie makes a really good snickerdoodle. But you know what? If I know that Bertie's going to bring snickerdoodles, I'm going to ask her beforehand, whereabouts on the table do you think you're going to put it? And I think I'll avoid that end of the table because I'll go crazy on her snickerdoodles. They're really good. So then you have to remember who you are. Excuse me, I'm sorry. You have to know, are you an emotional eater or are you a physical eater? An emotional eater, everybody at some time in their life is an emotional eater. Everybody has stress in their life. Everybody has sadness in their life. Everybody has joy in their life. But you have to know when you go to some place, are you eating because you're really, really hungry, or are you just eating because you want to eat? And if you just want to eat, make better choices. And it's just, I know it's a mind game. It really is. It's just a mind game. So you have to think of how you use food. Do you use food to make you feel safe? Do you use food because you think it's your friend? Do you feel powerless when you're around certain types of food? Or do you have no control when you're around over certain types of food? I really have no control over my turtle cake. I love my turtle cake. And at one point during the summer, I went and I bought a turtle cake just for myself. Isn't that terrible? But I did. And I told you guys about it. I don't know if you remember, but I did. And I cut it up into slices and I froze it because I thought I'll get it out of my sight. I'm going to have my piece of cake right now because this is what I really want. And it was just the fact that I had gone to one of my grandson, Sebastian, I had gone to his soccer game. And as I was driving home, I was driving past the bakery, which is nowhere near my house. And so as an emotional person, I thought, this is my bakery. And I pulled in and bought this cake. The unfortunate part is I love frozen cake. So it really wasn't smart for me to buy that cake because I ate that cake. Even though it was frozen, I would take it out of the freezer and I would eat it. And so, you know what? I know that I can't do that. I know that that's not who I am. So you want to identify your emotional triggers. And everybody knows your emotional triggers. They're stress, you're stuffing your emotions because you think that's going to help, boredom, feeling lonely, childhood habits, social influences. Childhood habits is just something like my family. My mother and I, we used to always, when the kids went to bed, because I was the oldest, we always ordered a pizza. So I always had something to eat at night, and that was the hardest thing for me. I now eat nothing after 7 o'clock, which is probably why I eat my dinner at 7 o'clock, because the 7 o'clock is the bewitching hour for me, and I will not eat anything. I just know that from childhood, if I ate after 7 o'clock, it was not good. So there's 5 D's that you want to follow. Delay, distance, determination, distraction, and decide. So you want to delay, you want to take 5 minutes to decide if you really want it. You want to have distance, just walk away. If you see something that you want, walk away. Walk away for 5 minutes. Determine, are you really that hungry or do you just want to eat? Distract yourself, do something else. Read a book, vacuum, clean the dishes, do something. And decide. Decide, are you really going to eat it? If you really decide after you've taken all that time to decide, then you just know. I suffer from panic attacks. And I judge my panic attacks between the numbers of 1 and 10. And I decide if it's going to last me for 1 minute or 10 minutes. And then I take that time and breathe and think and decide, am I going to have this panic attack? And for the most part, they go away. For me, that works. And then there's the triple A's, the awareness, the attitude, and the action. You have to be aware, you have to pay attention to your surroundings. Your attitude, I can and I will do this. And your action, you want to plan for success. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. That's Confucius. So what do we want to do is because the holidays are coming up, people are going to say, well, it's so close, I'll just wait till the first of the year. No, don't wait till the first of the year to start a diet program. Don't wait till the first of the year to get back on track. What you want to do is tell yourself that between now and New Year's Eve, you're going to maintain. You're not going to gain, but you're not going to lose. But you're going to maintain. So then you're going to start off the new year with a good attitude and a good feeling about yourself. And you're not going to be starting behind the 8 ball. You're already like 10 pounds extra that you got to lose. If you just work on just maintaining, make smart choices. If you know you're going to be going to a holiday party, eat lighter in the day, just so that you have some extra points for when you go to the party. If your aunt makes your favorite stuffing at Thanksgiving, just have a little bit of it. You don't have to have like 2 cups of it. Just have a small portion of it, just enough to satisfy yourself. Have that small piece of pie. Have that piece of cake. Whatever you're going to have. Don't deprive yourself, because depriving yourself will lead you into bad decisions. So once again, get the book. Not what we talked about, but it's get your sleep and you will feel so much better. I hope this helps you out. If you're not the first time on my channel, please subscribe. If you think it'll help somebody, share it. always hit that like button. And a comment. I love your comments. I always answer them within a day. So I'll talk to you guys later. See you next week.